Do you spend hours on the internet trying to decipher and solve famous crime cases? Do you get frustrated by the lack of evidence or even the convictions made? Do you ever think that you could be a detective due to your underlying investigating skills? If not, you probably have more productive things to do. But if you are a huge crime buff like me, you are intrigued. We are going to look at one of the most notorious cases in America. Today we are going to discuss the murders of Kitty and Jose Menendez, which were ultimately committed by their sons, Erik and Lyle Menendez, in 1989. For background information, Erik and Lyle Menendez came from a wealthy and privileged background. Lyle went on to attend Princeton University, while Erik had hopes to eventually attend a prestigious college. Their seemingly bright futures came to an end on the evening of August 20th, 1989, when they fatally shot their parents. After this tragic event occurred, Lyle hysterically called 911 and said, "Somebody shot my parents."
Were they shot? Yes. They were shot?
Yes. At first, the boys were not looked into by police due to the lack of evidence. However, following the months of the murders, Erik and Lyle spent over $700,000 during the time of the murders and their soon-to-be arrests. Following speculations of their involvement, Erik and Lyle were eventually found guilty of the murders in 1993. They were sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Although it's been proven that Lyle and Erik did kill their parents, after 27 years, there's still much talk about the boys' motives and whether or not they were justified. Through different outlets, multiple opinions are discussed, and the decorum in each one is very different. Reporters such as Barbara Walters dig into the depths of this case. During her program American Scandals, she maintains footage of the trial itself and even interviews Erik and Lyle in order to make up the show's content. She has to remain unbiased, even though her tone and attitude knows that they are guilty. The decorum she uses interviewing the Menendez brothers is very proper and educated around the subject. She maintains professionalism while she interacts with the viewers watching. She is the perfect example of using appropriate language at the appropriate time. Looking at websites like Reddit, regular people throw in their opinions as far as the motives of the Menendez brothers. Through a thread, Reddit users discuss that the murders were justified due to the sexual abuse that the boys encountered, while others believe that the motive is simply off of greed. Some of these Reddit users interact in an extremely blunt manner, even using foul language to describe their frustration and anger towards other people's opinions, while other Reddit users connect in a proper manner by providing factual evidence to support their claims. This decorum is acceptable on both sides, considering the fact that Reddit users are given a platform to freely discuss opinions based on the content that other people have submitted. Moreover, the 2017 Hulu documentary, Menendez Murders, Erik Tells All, has Erik Menendez describe the events that led up to the murder he committed, as well as the reasonings to justify the horrid actions. He goes into detail about the physical, emotional, and sexual abuse he encountered from his parents growing up, and how their picture-perfect life was far from perfect. The reporters, investigators, and even the people who were present at the trial have different opinions on Erik's claims.
In the media, that's all you would hear, is that these two rich boys killed parents for money. The people who think that did not sit through the same trial that I did.
The Menendez trial was classic human drama, soap opera-ish, but it had everything. Parents, children, success, pedophilia. It was an American.
As you can see, Betty Ollifield's language is empathetic and understanding, leaning towards pathos, while Larry King's language is more evidence-based and straight to the point. The decorum presented by the guest in this documentary ranges in different tones, gestures, and word choices. However, with the different professions presented here, each person's decorum is acceptable for the documentary, because the documentary decorum involves each person speaking directly to the camera, answering questions from the filmmaker, and giving the viewers a view of realism. To conclude this presentation, each resource uses their decorum very differently. However, the one thing that they do have in common is the appropriateness of their language regarding the setting that they are in. But after all this evidence is given, what is your opinion? Are Erik and Lyle's crimes justified, or are they just cold-blooded, period? You can do your own research and even discuss your theories involving this case to choose what you want to believe or what you don't want to believe.